Chris Westcott here. Thank you for coming back to the channel. So glad to be with you, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch video number 2. It's going to be great because I'm going to be covering a conversation that I had with a broker, and this broker is a guy who's been successful for a long time, right? You know the type, selling large land deals, large warehouse deals, gobs of zeros on the back end of these deals, $100 million kind of portfolios. And he's had a lot of success, but the issue is that he's been running solo. And he said something that stuck to me. He said, it's not easy at my age doing this by yourself, right? So what does that tell you? That tells you that he was getting a little burnt out. He was, right? So he's representing these kind of ultra exclusive, high value, off market properties, right? And what's the challenge? The challenge is the sellers don't want public marketing on these opportunities. So he's asking, how do I find the buyers without blasting the marketing for these opportunities out there, without putting it out so people can see it, right? It's a fine balance between discretion and visibility. So we started breaking it down step by step. And what we realized is that first he needed to really focus on his systems that free him up to be able to focus on the things that move the needle for his business. And for him, that's things like building the relationships, pitching the deals, closing the deals, etc. That's his zone of genius. He doesn't need to be caught up in a lot of the servicing and the administrative stuff and the building the marketing campaigns. He doesn't need to do that stuff, right? That's not his zone of genius. And so another point that he made is he said, I've avoided the spotlight for so many years. It might be time for a change. And that's it, right? That's the inflection point in his business, the realization that scaling isn't just about doing more. It's about pulling the right levers. That's what you do to a lever. You pull it, and that creates leverage for the system to move, right? So the 3 takeaways that I want to leave for you are, 1, that systems are better than solo. Okay, so it's not about just doing more work. It's about putting the right machines in place so that you can focus on your superpower. All right. Number 2, visibility does matter. You may want to stick with doing it old school, right? But even in a discrete market, people need to know that you exist. Reputation scales faster than any ad campaign. So think about where you're at with your reputation and how people perceive you as the expert or not in your market or in your field of expertise. And number 3, leverage wins. So scaling, again, isn't about doubling your effort. Scaling is not about 2x. Scaling is about 10x. It's about doubling down on the efforts that are most valuable, focusing on only what you can do and delegating the rest, right? What does that mean? Delegate it to technology, or you delegate it to another human. And that's how you start to free up hours and hours and hours of focusing on higher value activities that grow the business. Okay, so what I'd like you to think about is that this story is not just about a broker, but the story can relate to all of us, right? The story can relate to you. Think about what's going on in your life today. What are areas where you're thinking, man, if I could just do more, if I could just do more work or have more of this quality, I'll do better in my life. I'll get better outcomes. When usually it's not the case. It's usually a function of the right design. It's usually a function of the right system that's going to generate tons of room for you to think, for you to breathe, for you to grow your endeavors, whether it's business, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a relationship. Think about what is keeping you constrained. Think about what you're trying to work harder at, and then just start designing. Put pen to paper, start designing systems that free you up from those things, okay? If you've liked this message, you've liked this story, hit the bell, subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.